Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Dungeon Boss Respawned. Today I'm gonna talk about the dwarf team, or basically the family of the dwarves. Um, as you can see, I'm currently max level 19. I've been doing some grinding the past few days, but haven't had too much time, I guess. And it's kind of slow because you can't quick loot anything and your daily quests are very limited. So your XP is basically just running dungeons manually all day long. So yeah, but I've worked my ass off and tried to get the dwarves at a reasonable stage for level 19. And I'm gonna talk about a few things that make them stand out and some other things that apparently don't work as intended, which I just found out after ascending Hagram. Yeah, it's kinda annoying. But I guess, yeah, it's still beta, so it's excusable that not everything works as intended. But yeah, let's start with Rogar. As we all know, Rogar is your starting hero. Everyone has him. And we have a few skins for him. So we have the normal one, Rogar Stonecrusher. We have the Santa Rogar, which I apparently don't have, but I think I have it in original Dungeon Boss. We have... Hello? What? We have Eternal Rogar. And we have the new skin, the Elemental Rogar. But I like the Eternal one more. The Elemental one is a little too over the top. For stats in this game, we only have the speed, attack, defense, skill, max health, crit chance, crit multiplier, dodge chance, and damage reduction. So we don't have any elemental damage reductions or chaos damage reduction or anything like that. And skill apparently only is for non-damaging skills, healing, and stat buffs. So all the damage from damage over time effects comes from the stacks, like the stack amount of the damage over time effects. So he's armored, he has resolute, so whenever an enemy dodges, his next attack will guaranteed hit and be critical, which is decent. Hot-headed, the same thing that I don't like about the original Dungeon Boss. You're kind of forced to use him on a fire team, even though he synergizes probably the best with a Dwarves team, or at least a combination of both. So I would like to have this as 10% for each other fire or dwarf ally. But I guess that would make him too strong. So maybe make it like 5% for every fire or dwarf ally, which gives him a decent buff for like the teams that I would use him on and make him more viable. Bone Rattler, so melee attacks have a 60% chance to purge one stack of buff on target's hit, which is great because it works on all of his abilities as well. And prone on crit applies one stack of prone for 3 turns on crit. I don't remember what prone does at the moment. There are a lot of different buffs and debuffs in this game. It's kind of hard to get them all memorized. So we have his basic swing, his whirlwind that we all know, and this part, melee physical attack for 748 base damage divided amongst all living enemies. So if there is only one enemy living, they get hit with the full value. If there's 4 of them, they get a different value, but it's still a big hit. 3 melee physical attacks on target enemy for 230 base damage each, and increases attack for all allies by 19%. This ability scales, as we can see. Next level would be 20%. And makes a melee physical attack on target for some damage. He does not, or I think he might have an epic. We don't know if there's epics in the game yet. I will ask a few people. I think Boo is close to level 50 if he hasn't hit it already. So he might be able to find out if there are epics yet or not. And then we have the story, which I completed up to stage 4, because on stage 4 I need 25 hero storylines on stage 3 completed. So I have a long way to go to get there. But yeah, he didn't really change too much. And his best combination is with Deegan. So Deegan got a new hero art. And we have the Deegan Stonecrusher, which also got a little bit changed. And the Stoneforged Deegan, which is basically the same as in Dungeon Boss. He is not fully ascended, so I'm still missing a few things. He's also armored, he has Impervious, which is nice. Like father, like son, which is the most important thing about this build, or this team, I guess. So anytime he does an attack, Rogar follows him up with the same attack. But keep in mind, the S1 ability, Rogar is just gonna follow on the targeted hero, not all of them. And every time you use Deegan's ability and Rogar follows them, they also get the energy cost removed. Like, they have to pay the energy cost. So if you use Deegan first and Rogar second, and you use Deegan's first ability, Rogar is gonna follow up with his first ability, but only hit the targeted enemy. And then when it's Rogar's turn, he doesn't have the first ability because he's just used it. So the ideal way is to use Rogar first, Deegan second. So you use Rogar's first ability, hit all of them. Then Rogar's first ability. Then use Deegan's first ability, hit all of them again. And then get the follow-up with the S1 from Rogar on the targeted hero, which works pretty well. And Forgotten Might, he gains 10% attack for each dwarf ally on the team. Here is stats, I guess. Yeah, doesn't really get any boost. Here's the basic attack. This applies 1 stack of shocked, which is not that much. And then, yeah, this basically the same, with the only change that if it kills an enemy, it applies Silenced for 2 turns on all enemies. Silenced and Frozen are probably the most devastating debuffs at the moment, that are also easily applicable. So I'm still missing a few things for his last ascension, but Celestial Evils are kinda expensive to buy, so I just have to kill Loot Goblins, which exist as an event enemy, and hope that they drop the evils that I need. As you can see, I got a lot of Canopy evils yet already, but Brilliant evils are kinda rare. These one I just have to grind, but Evo drop chances are so low. Anyways, he would get his Thunder Smash, as we know it. Deals bonus damage to shock targets and applies stun for 2 turns on hit, and deals 10% splash damage. Splash damage is not a lot in this game. It's always like 10%, 30% max. So it doesn't really do much. At least not on the low levels. And Dwarven Dynamo, which only counts for Deegan. This character gains 1 energy on crits, and dwarf allies deal an additional 25% damage to shocked or stunned enemies. So the energy part on crits, this one does only count for Deegan. The extra damage against shocked or stunned enemies could be nice, but you're never gonna get off his last ability anyways. At least you shouldn't in a normal PvP fight. I guess it would be good for PvE. I also did all the free ones for him. So he's also at 3 stars. Let's go to Vulcan. Vulcan has his hiking. He has his toy soldier. There is apparently a bug where you can't swap this whenever you're looking at another skin, and his rune war. He is the most underwhelming of all of them, I guess. But he's still pretty good. 25% less damage from physical attacks, max health increased by 10%. Allies start encounter with 1 stack of Inspired for 3 turns. Dwarf allies start encounters with 2 stacks instead. So Inspired, at 1 stack, I think it heals 4% of your max health if you use an ability. At 2 stacks, it's like 8%, and at 5 stacks, which is max, I think it's 26%. So, especially for PvE, it is pretty great. I mean, the only thing that could stop a Dwarven team is either a very long fight, so something that takes more than 2 turns, or one-shots. But other than that, like, he heals basically the whole team. If you get through a dungeon by killing every room within like 2 turns, you're gonna be at the boss with 5 stacks and heal 26% of your max health every time you use an ability, which is a great passive heal, to be honest. Increase attack and defense for 5% for all dwarf allies. Yeah, okay. And divine intervention. They just copied that from Grondar and gave it a different passive like thing that it does. But it's still good. Gains invincible for 2 turns after an enemy hits this character with a crit. Crits are, yeah, not really that relevant at the moment. At least not on the level and ascension scale that most PvP players are on right now. It is decent. Like, sometimes they get a lucky crit in and then Vulcan is just immune to damage and debuffs for 1 turn. But I wouldn't count on it. I guess it would be more reasonable in PvE if you're fighting certain enemies that have a high chance to crit. But other than that, yeah, kinda useless. Yeah, he has a lot of health in comparison. There is also not like as we know in Dungeon Boss, in the original Dungeon Boss, we have a rarity boni. We don't have that here. You only have the star bonus and the passives. So his abilities, his basic attack does not make another random ally follow with their basic attack. I guess that's a mistype or an oversight, but it doesn't do it. I'm gonna explain later. To war, pretty underwhelming. Applies 1 stack of weakened for 3 turns. 1 stack of weakened is, I think, a 5% attack and crit chance debuff. Something like that. So he basically, like, most heroes run around with a 5% crit hit chance. So he basically just makes divine intervention be useless as soon as he gets his attack off. And Steel Sharpened Steel applies 1 stack of Empowered, which is like a 5% attack and crit damage or crit chance increase, which is nothing. And then makes a melee physical attack for base damage that applies 2 stacks of Wounded, which is, I think, about 3% or 6% max health damage every turn, which is also not that much. So it switches to war, to infantry, which basically makes it give another stack of, what was it called? Nope. Another stack of inspired to all allies, which is good to keep it going if you're running into an encounter that takes more than 2 turns. Other than that, it's pretty useless because one stack on its own is 4% healing if you use an ability. So, yeah. Tooth and Nail, we know that one from the original as well. Then applies Invincible for 2 turns to self, which is good. But I mean, it's gonna be so far off with the energy cost that you're probably not gonna get it off unless he gets crit and gets invincible anyways. So I guess it's just to keep him alive. And switches to war to cavalry. I don't know what cavalry does, obviously, since I don't have Tooth and Nail. But yeah, as you can see, I'm far off from ascending him again. And then we have the lead by example. When this character damages an enemy, a random ally will make a follow-up attack on that target with a basic attack. Yeah. It's not epic lead by example, as we know it from Dungeon Boss if we have the epic weapon from him. But I think the Dungeon Boss variant was that lead by example only counted for Dwarven allies, but it made all of them follow. And epic lead by example made it so that it isn't exclusive to dwarves anymore. So yeah, this one is, I guess, just a downgrade. Because I don't think that his lead by example, if it happens to proc on Deegan, so that Deegan makes a follow-up, I don't think that it would proc on Rogar as well, the like father like son passive, to make him follow up as well. So yeah, I'm not gonna work on his last ascension for now. I don't think it's really worth it that much. And the story, as with the other dwarfs, up until here, because further down is just a grind. And the last one, Hagram Fellhorn. He also has his basic and his leprechaun skin. He has a lot of passives in comparison. He's fast, so 10% attack and defense reduce. You can see it here. He is armored. He has Shredder, which is decent. He has Goblin's Bane, which is okay, I guess. I'm not gonna run a dwarf team against the goblin team because they are kind of... both teams are kind of countering each other, so stupid. Like, why would it take Hagram to do more damage against goblins, but the goblins also have more damage against the dwarves? Stupid. Dwarven Vengeance. Whenever an allied dwarf is defeated, this character gains 2 stack of Empowered, which is like a 10% attack boost, I think, and like a 10% crit damage boost, I think. For 3 turns, it makes a basic revenge attack on the enemy who defeated the ally. It's okay, but he's not gonna survive too much. I mean, his health is big, but other than that, yeah. And Forgotten Fervor. Fervor? Okay. Other dwarf allies start with Hasten for 2 turns, which should work like a speed boost. So it should make them from normal speed to fast speed. But after I fully ascended him to unlock this passive, and I run like 2 PvP dungeons with him, I figured out it doesn't actually work. So yeah, stupid. His base attack is also bugged, so on hit will make a bonus attack with their offhand weapon on the same target. Doesn't work, so it just does 128. Buzzsaw, nerf damage, okay. It cannot be healed, we know that, but that debuff deals 10% splash damage, which is not a lot. For melee physical attacks on target enemy, for base damage, if the target is defeated, this character gains 1 energy. Decent. And Dwarf and Fury applies 2 stacks of Empowered to all dwarf allies, then makes a melee physical attack on target enemy, and applies 1 stack of Wounded. I think 1 stack of Wounded is like another 3% health per turn that they lose, so not too much. And yeah, the same story as with the other ones. So, how does this team work? This is gonna be a hard fight. Yeah. So Sir William is a beast, basically. Not as in he's not in the family of the beasts, but he is a beast if he gets his abilities off. So you see here, they have Hastened. This character's next 2 turns will be taken at the next speed level up from their current speed. Slow gets to normal, normal gets to fast, stacks up to 2 times up to fast. So you could theoretically get a slow hero up to the speed of a fast hero. For some reason, it doesn't work. And yeah, here you can see inspired. Yeah, nothing else. What do we have here? Season boost, okay. I'm just looking if there is any buff that we can... No, there is no buffs. So what I like to do is use this on him, so it stops his healing, because he has healing per turn. This is the ugly part. As you just saw, Sir William is a normal speed character, and he went before my Rogar, my Deegan, and my Vulcan. So the speed buff doesn't work, which just sucks. So here we have Stunned. This character can't use abilities, does not gain energy normally each turn, can't run away in fear. Yeah, it's kind of bugged, because I can still use his ability. It just, yeah. If Wrath hits Rogar with this debuff, Rogar is not gonna follow up. But that's all. Here we have Prone, reduces defense and dodge by percentage. Yeah, okay, so it's defense and dodge. Dodge is not really relevant anyway, so... This is weakened, attack and crit damage. Pretty stupid. And yeah, they have 2 slow healers, 2 slow heroes, 1 tank, and another tank. So this is basically a useless battle. As you can see, it like, yeah. It should work, but it doesn't. So it just sucks. Like, if all of my team was fast, I could have taken out some of their heroes without even having to bother with this. But yeah, you can see energy is a very rare resource. Oh, we just got the invincible shield on Vulcan. Boop, boop, boop. Bye. Bye. And not bye, because no follow-ups. Let's see this one. So now we have 3 stacks of Empower, which is a 20% attack and crit damage boost. And now we even have more damage, because we have the 20% or 19% from him. And now we can see this one, which just gives another stack of Inspired, because the other ones ran out. Boom. I mean, it's still a good team. The only thing that it can't really beat are like very offensive Jin teams and obviously construct teams, because constructs are currently overpowered as fuck. I'm gonna get to that on another video. I'm probably gonna go for constructs next, even though I basically have nothing done with them yet. Yeah, so oh no, he's doing damage to my Hagram. The one hero that I don't care about anyways. Niveus is gonna get a resin. Boop. It's probably gonna get an ability off as well, yeah. So Niveus is pretty dangerous just because of the silence. If he gets that off first turn, like if you're running slow heroes and he gets that off first turn, you're basically screwed. Happy Hawker. Yeah, he has a Jin at 2 stars. I'm not gonna mess with that because Jin's silence is kinda not purgeable. I've tried it with Rayla because Rayla apparently cleanses one debuff from the whole team at the start of the turn. But I guess she has to be able to actually act for that to work. And yeah, I don't have her leveled, I don't have her ascended, so she doesn't really work. She just gets one-shotted and Jin's silence stays active. So this is the dwarf team basically. What I'm currently a little bit of experiencing with is changing things up. So since Hagram doesn't work and Vulcan's buffs are kinda meh, I usually use Archon, and if I'm going against the Sir William, I am going to put Jin on the team. Jin is not ascended, he is not leveled, but his only use is to silence, and he does that. So Sir William doesn't get the double shields off. As you can see, all of them are silenced. Now I'm just gonna try to focus basically everyone just to get them down. Yeah, I don't care. Next turn is, yeah, it's just Sir William. And now he's gonna shield, but I don't care. Because he has a shock debuff, and shocked every time you hit an enemy, it makes them lose a percentage of their health and does 50% off the lost health to all the other shocked enemies, I think. And this way, Rogar double dips from Hothead, and Field Reaper Archon gives another 5% damage. So Rogar gains 15% damage just from Archon being there. How did we get? Damn. 20% less defense just from one attack. But I mean, it's not gonna matter, so yeah, as you can see, Raph still hits like a wet noodle and gets absolutely wrecked by Rogar. As I said, the only teams that I don't want to mess with are probably Jinlei teams. I'm gonna try with my own Jinlei. So maybe if I survive the first turn, there's a good chance that I can actually kill something. Because I'm gonna focus one character and they're gonna split up probably. Yeah, as you can see, They're splitting. Yeah, you kill him, doesn't matter. You do nothing. Good, he's dead. So no second attack from him. Boom, boom, boom. And you're probably worse to deal with. You still survived. Oh, damn. That's not good. Whew. He somehow survived. Boom. Yeah, it shouldn't have worked out, but it did. Happy Hawker. Sorry. Okay, now since I forgot to show it before, I'm gonna try to show off the shocked debuff. If it doesn't one-shot everyone instantly, that is. Oh, well. I'm actually not gonna use his ability, just to maybe get a shocked off. Yeah, okay. So we have a shocked here. Deals 1.5 to 10% of their max health, and other enemies take half of that when hit for 3 turns, depending on the max stacks. So yeah. And there we have Diseased, which just reduces healing and crit chance. So it's not really, yeah, not really useful. Again, dungeon bosses reduce their attack, their defense, their crit chance, their healing. It was kind of all over the place. It was still not very good in Dungeon Boss, but now in Dungeon Boss Respawned, it's just even worse. So, Cobal, as much as I love you, you don't even cut it in PvE anymore. Rogar just takes the lead on everything at the moment, because Rogar one-shots level 28 normal enemies. Cobal, at the same power level, can't even one-shot level 10 enemies with his first attack. So I'm always gonna take Dwarves on PvE instead of Cobal. So yeah, anyways, that's all from me right now. As I said, I'm gonna work on constructs probably next, because they're kinda meta. Well, not kinda meta, but they're obviously the most busted team at the moment. And I'm gonna catch you in the next one. If you have any thoughts, any comments, leave them down below, or message me on Discord. And I hope I'll see all of you in the new Dungeon Boss Respawned at some point. Bye bye.